everyone, it's Jennifer McCreath, Saturday, December 22nd, 2012. Wow, video number 4 on the day. Lots to say. It's been a while since I recorded. I want to talk about Keith Russell, member of the House of Assembly for the Provincial Government of Newfoundland and Labrador for the District of Lake Melville, which is in Labrador. This gentleman has a history of controversy surrounding him in and outside of the House. He apparently made some rude comments to protesters at one point, and he got himself suspended as I believe he's a coach, a minor hockey. Basically, he coaches children, and I guess he was using profanity and other rude comments. I don't know if they were threats. Bottom line, he was suspended for being a coach. Now, just this week in the House of Commons, he made some ridiculous, sexist comments that were degrading to women, directed towards Yvonne Jones, implying that Yvonne was attracted to him and that she had given him a sloppy kiss, which I gather had not happened. And he also called her a washed-up actress. There's been a lot of outcry. Even members of the media, whose job is to remain neutral and report the facts, they're all outraged. They've all reported on this. Apparently, even the Premier herself went and apologized to Yvonne for the fact that these comments were made. I don't know what women's groups out there think of this. Maybe they don't even watch the House, like so many people don't seem to want to watch it. I definitely was upset with it, and I've made my comments known. I've written our Women's Policy Office and encouraged them to speak out against this behavior. I copied the minister responsible for the Women's Policy Office, who may not feel comfortable responding because it could be a politically correct issue. I'd like to see this guy kicked out of the caucus. Respect can't be a political issue. It has to be universal. And we cannot have men degrading women in politics, no matter what party colors you have. Sure, I get that there's going to be jokes and antics in the House, but this took it way too far. Totally inappropriate. Lake Melville, you should be embarrassed that this is the person that represents you, and you should look yourself in the mirror and be ashamed of yourself for electing this guy, voting for this guy who's gotten into so much trouble. I'm not going to necessarily say he's a bad person, but he just he needs to learn how to watch his mouth. He's just run his mouth off. He's demonstrated that he has, I guess, hatred and bigotry in his heart and soul. He's a bully. He's been rude. He's been disrespectful. And he's not a leader. This guy should not be representing anybody but himself. And if this government does not boot him out of caucus, this government is essentially saying that they agree with what he said and what he does. And that's not right. This is a joke. Yeah, Kathy Dunderdale, I don't know if you actually watch any of my videos. I definitely tweet them at you. This one will definitely be tweeted at you, and Charlene Johnson, I'm going to tweet this at you as well. I'm publicly calling for both of you to denounce the things that Keith Russell said to Yvonne Jones the other day in the House, because they are not right. And if you don't do this, your entire Women's Policy Office and your Women's Policy Program is a farce and a sham, and might as well be shut down, because if you don't denounce this guy and if you don't boot him out of caucus, you've essentially demonstrated that you don't really care. Furthermore, I'd like to see this guy out of politics completely. There's a reason, folks, Newfoundlanders, I'm talking to you, there's a reason the rest of Canada makes Newfie jokes. It laughs at us because this is what they see on the news. Rude, crude, boorish behavior. Yeah. If you don't like those Newfie jokes, we got to start by doing a better job with the people we vote into political office, because they're the ones that get the majority of the spotlight on them. You watch the 6 o'clock news, most of it's going to be about politics and politicians. So You want a better reputation for our province, it starts by who we vote for. So think about that. Keith Russell, I'd like to extend an invitation for you to sit down and chat with me. I have a rather unique relationship with women's rights movements, women's offices. Some of them are accepting of trans women and some of them are not. Bottom line is I'm on their radar and they're on mine. I think having a conversation with you might be very enlightening, and I'd like to think that I could help you learn to change your ways and be a little bit more respectful, accepting, and tolerant. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. I still think you should quit and resign and not come back until you've cleaned up your act. And I'd like to encourage everyone watching this to do the same. Write Keith Russell, write the Premier Kathy Dunderdale, and write Minister Charlene Johnson, the minister responsible for the Women's Policy Office. And heck, write the other parties too. Write the media. Let's raise a stink about this, because otherwise, if we don't stand up for this, it's going to be considered acceptable behavior and it'll keep happening. We saw John Crosby disrespect Sheila Copps back in the 80s. Now, here we are many years later, and we're still seeing the same thing. I don't want to keep seeing this. It's unacceptable and it's disgusting, and it does not belong in politics, and it is not, in my opinion, a true reflection of what Newfoundland and Newfoundlanders are all about. So come on, folks. Let's all work together to put an end to this type of garbage. Thanks for watching. I'm Jennifer McCreath.